Good morning, kings and queens. Welcome to another market open with me. Um, there we are. We're on the right screen now. So, I found some interesting stuff in the news today, but we'll get into that after the market opens, or maybe a little bit before the market opens. Glad to see that Bitcoin is at least over 42,000. Apparently, it dipped last night again. Still haven't checked that to see where that bar went, but we are a little bit more away from the 39,000 mark, which is I just didn't want to see it hold under 40,000. That would have stunk. So, moving in the right direction slowly. Given that it's Friday, I'm not surprised that we're seeing a little bit of red, because Friday tends to be a day that everyone seems to pull their money out to go to cash anyway. So, yeah, was it there? Yeah. So it looks like at about 4 a.m. it started to break down a little bit. There's no way I would have caught that. I was definitely asleep. So, good morning. So yeah, there was definitely no way I was going to catch that. I was definitely asleep at that time. Actually, you know what? I do need to make sure I post my Discord link in the server. I always forget about that part. So, anyways, as I'm doing that, let's do two things at once. Let's go back to CoinMarketCap. Let that open back up. There we go. Alright, so we're not all perfect. I have taken some more profit from some crypto. Yes, it is a little bit because I need the money right now, but also because I am looking to hold into cash a little bit for moving forward. Things are very interesting right now. I don't know if it's going up, don't know if it's going down. I want to say that I'm a bull in the market, but I don't know anymore. So, as things are kind of shifting around, I'm just accruing more and more cash so that I can be ready for whatever future buys are coming. And I am doing this so wrong right now because I know you guys can't see anything. Where did that go? There we are. So I did sell a little bit of Uni, even though it is low right now. It's still technically more than what I got it for, which was free. So that's great. And let's see if we have anything that's been green in the last 24 hours. So Dogecoin will be in the news. Connected with Tesla, so that might be why that's up. Looks like DOT flipped. Oh, that already happened. It was Polygon. Poly needs to stay over SHIB. That's what I'm looking for. It needs to break SHIB and stay over there. Near still up in the last 7 days, down 3% in the last 24 hours. They've been getting a lot of news lately, a lot of action. I'm going to be going over a little bit about them too in the news. Chainlink broke down a little bit, and that's not a bad thing. It could just mean that it's a good time to buy. Is this music too loud? I feel like it's blaring. Alright, there's the link for the Discord. So if you're not a part of the Discord, join the Discord. So, what else we got going on in the market? FTX, the only one up in the last 24 hours so far. Besides, I think it was like SHIB or something, but who cares about that? I'm not going to say I'm a non-biased YouTuber. I'm not even a YouTuber. I'm just a guy sitting behind my computer right now, reading some screens. So FTX is an exchange. They're pretty big. They're doing a lot of like what BNB and CRO do, or as far as the coins are concerned. So FTT is the coin here. It's an exchange token. If you hold it, depending on how much you hold, the fees might be less on that exchange when you use it. Wow, Decentraland really came down in the last few days. Was holding over $4 for a good while. This is number one. I would say it's probably a good time to buy, depending on what the charts look like. I'm not big on TA. Let me rephrase that. I don't do a lot of TA. It just takes a lot of time and a lot of recharting and whatnot, and well, we got to balance what we're able to do. So TA is technical analysis, by the way, which is when you just draw lines on the chart if you don't know. What else we got? What's up, puppies? You're a boy. Okay. Sandboxes still looking stronger than most. Still around the $5 mark, 20 cents down. So I mean, really, I guess I shouldn't be saying that, but it's all-time high was about $7 a change, I believe. Popped up from like 60 cents earlier this year. Axie Affinity is about half off from what it was at an all-time high. Or actually, even what it was consolidating at for a good while. It was at like 143 for a good while. All-time high, I think, is higher than that. But so cryptos are showing strength. However, they weakened again. So we might have to edit this title. Let's see. Alright, Kuma, I love you dearly, but you like leaning on me all the time. It's not it. So let's see. Title. Have you made up your mind? Bitcoin. There we go. And stocks. Don't make me tell you twice. Alright, that's what we're calling the title today. Speaking of stocks, did I open Webull? I did not. Let's get Webull opened up. Mark will be opening up in 7 minutes-ish. Is this music too loud or is it okay? Can you even hear the music? Alright. Here's Webull. Not much to say about it since Mark is not open yet. Okay. You know what? I'm going to pet my dog for a quick second because he is being a little puppy. You're being a puppy. Couché. He knows a little bit of sign language and a little bit of French, by the way. He's not bougie. So UEC, I should have taken out yesterday when it was at 390-ish or 388. I was debating on it. I should have done it right away, and that's something that I got to keep in mind is even though I'm on these lives, I got to make sure I pull the trigger on certain things if I have to. Oh, excuse me. Because it did break down a little bit. I think it was at like 322 or 328 is around what it's at now. That was the wrong keyboard. Yeah. So now we're down again on the trade. So learning lesson all the time. I sometimes go back and forth between swing trading and day trading. Kind of depends on how much time I have to focus on it specifically and how much I chart it out before the day. And that's also like when I say I don't do much technical analysis. Without doing a lot of technical analysis, it's kind of hard to be a day trader. So I've learned that about myself. It's not that I can't do it. It's just that I tend to take on a lot, and this is what happens. So the lesson in there is know the kind of trader you are. This falls under the risk category, like I was mentioning before, and I'm going to do a video on kind of how to see where your risk tolerance is. But if you don't have time to allocate to doing stuff like this, then don't day trade. You might be a swing trader. If you only want to buy things for the long term, then you're just going to be buying and holding. You wouldn't even be swing trading. You'd be doing like leaps maybe it's for a year, maybe 2 years, maybe for your lifetime. That'll also change how you think about Bitcoin. If someone's like, hey, I want to be in Bitcoin for my life, but I don't want to trade it and I'm very like low risk, I'll be like, all right, don't do, or if they say cryptocurrency, I'll say don't do anything other than Bitcoin. Anything I say in this channel is not financial advice for all for entertainment and education purposes, by the way. If you want to learn this stuff for real or know the implications on it, talk to a tax consultant or financial advisor person. But anyway, I would say buy Bitcoin and nothing else if someone was saying they wanted to be in crypto for long term and not move it at all, just because that's the only one that I see is going to be around for the long term as of right now. So anyway, getting back to this right here. So I'm really interested in this because the fact that they have a successful flight, but their stock keeps dropping is really interesting to me, and I think it's just because people weren't making their money, and especially since it's Friday, people are taking out whatever they need. So when you have a weak stock, it just gets weaker whenever you're investing in it. I'm sorry. I get an eyelash like in my eye, but in between my eyelashes or something. Anyway, if you're in a stock that is already a little bit more risky, so they don't have any revenue right now. They do have one successful flight that Richard Branson went on, and I think like 4 or 5 other people. But when you don't have any money coming in, or you're not saying like, oh, these flights are going to be happening at these dates. You're literally gambling. So just know that whenever you're getting into a stock like this, that's what I tell myself too. AT&T, the interesting things happening with the 5G services and whatnot. I was reading, again, the news for the 5G like companies or service that's being turned on, and they were allowed to turn on the service because it's not interfering with planes and all that stuff. I didn't even think about that. I mean, it makes sense, of course. We always talk about interference when it comes to radio waves and all that stuff, but I didn't even think about the turning on a new service, how the 5G was going to affect the frequencies that are being used in planes and helicopters and such. So that's something I'm going to go over, is that helicopters actually, since they fly lower than planes, there are reports that some pilots are getting like interference in their machinings. The words are in the news. Because of the 5G service being turned on, is interfering with the frequencies. So, interesting stuff. Riot blockchain is still really cheap. I think my buy-in average in this is like 25, 27, something like that. So, should be buying more right now. Lucid looks like it's starting to come back a little bit. Same thing with Neo. Neo was in the high 20s last month. Lucid was just breaking into the 30s again. How much longer we got? About a minute to open. Okay. Here we are. I guess it was a second. So for you guys, we'll have opened about a minute ago. All right. It doesn't know. Alright. I can never look at it that way. It moves too fast. Okay, so let's see. These DocuSign still. Wow, Buck 29. Just so you can see why that's not surprising, but like impressive to me. They did break down recently. Let's see, they were at like 2. What is that? Am I on the day? Yeah, I'm on the day. They were at 270s. I think they even were in the 300s at a point. Yep, there you go. 314. And that's pre-COVID. This is one of those stocks that really blew up because everyone is at home, so people are getting in person more, but DocuSign does do more than just electronic signing of documents. I believe they're cloud storage too. Let's get into the news. do I really want to be doing news? I mean, I do, but like, I'm still trying to figure out what's really important for this channel. Do I do news? Do I do TA? Do I do rumors? Do I go back analytics stuff? That's just a lot more involved. But anyway, this is talking about the helicopter flights like I was mentioning before. So some flights could be grounded because of the 5G rollout. So what they were saying in this is that, the critically ill newborn baby was whisked away by helicopter on Saturday for rural Silverton, Oregon, not to play light of this newborn ill child. But what they're saying is that these flights happen thousands of times. It's nothing uncommon to go from like Oregon to Portland or from one hospital to another hospital through helicopter. But when they turn on the 5G service, January 19th, what they're saying is that they have had a lot of intrepidation over potential impacts. This was one of the pilots, I believe. Flights. Interim chief of executive of officer of Aurora, Oregon, based in new nonprofit. There, okay. Well, anyway, there you go. So they have reserve of turning 5G on because with how low they fly the helicopters, they're actually getting interference with some of their readings. And what happens is if you can't read where you land, then you're not allowed to land there, basically. So if you're in a rural area where you have all this interference, you have a patient that you're trying to take to a helipad on a hospital. I don't know why I just wanted to say an iPad. And that's kind of a problem. And this takes place in the last 20 seconds before landing. I don't know if you know anything about planes. I don't know too much about planes, but my dad used to fly, and it's the landing that's the most important part. Some of the stuff that he would tell me about flying, like it's that last 20 seconds, I'll say it's a little bit important. If you don't make that last 20 seconds, you're not making it. So anyway, restrictions of landing at many airports, 50 airports, including Newark, Liberty. And this is what I'm saying. Like this right here, this is where I go. Maybe not this is where I go. I think this is another one, but I go to Newark. I forget which one it is. Maybe it is the only one. But anyway, 50 airports that you might have restricted landing on because of this interference. It's kind of a big deal. So I'm really curious as to what this is going to do for the cellular stocks overall. It seems like, for the most part, people buy off the sales on these things, not necessarily news like that. And that's what I'm starting to notice. And that's why I said, do I even want to be doing the news? Just because of like that news. It's like, that's pretty important information. I don't know if it's necessarily news that will dictate any move in the market, but that to me raises awareness of something overall about 5G. Maybe I'm looking into it too deeply, but one thing I've noticed is that when I start thinking about things too deeply, I tend to be right. So I'm going to keep following that trend and see where it leads me. We'll see what happens from there. But right now, T-Mobile, Verizon, AT&T. This is AT&T right now, by the way. It's up right here. The one I was on. T-Mobile's up here. They're all still showing relative strength. Maybe that little bit of news had some impact, maybe not. Maybe it's some people who distrust it, but at the same time, I think this drop is more because it's Friday. But getting back into the news, wasn't too much more to be said about this besides, they're gonna, if they're gonna have, eyeballs and searchlights. They're basically saying, it is what it is right now. It's getting turned on. That's what this was saying. Kind of sucks, honestly. So Near Protocol receives $150 million. $150 $150 million in investments near in funds. So this is the one that has been showing strength over the last couple of months. This has been getting a lot of news around it. It's a layer 1 protocol, which means that it is the base blockchain of its kind, and then there will be other projects built on top of it. I can't remember how long it's been around, but it's been around for a little bit. I know I've heard about it since I've pretty much been in crypto. It's one of those ones that I've always thought, should I put money into it? Looking back at it, I should have. But you never know. So anyway, they raised $150,000 from some major cryptocurrency funds. The list of them is right here. I'm not going to say them all. I'm dyslexic, so when I tried reading these last night, I literally was just mumbling these words. Couldn't even pick these up. I hate reading a bunch of company names in order. It sucks. Anyway, it's neither here nor there. So, Near's done a great job from a technology standpoint, and we want to help them achieve a level of developer user ecosystem adoption which reflects their current level of technology innovation. So this is a person from one of these companies, and basically, when you're building a blockchain, you have the technology that's behind it, so the literal circuits and wirings, and then the way it's going to work, and the baseline blockchain. That's what I believe they're referring to as technology here. And when they're saying achieve a level of developer user ecosystem adoption, that's going to be building on top of that with different dApps. So when I say dApps, it's decentralized apps, or just apps in general. But you're going to need developers for that. So you're going to need people who are in there programming and actually writing on these systems. So if you're getting into programming in crypto, it's sometimes good to get onto these newer projects, because since they're so young, you could be getting into something that's going to be, I won't say the next ETH, but like another top 10 or top 20 project in the near or midterm future. So it's just saying that big fish in the pond, or it's seen that there's potential in Near, which I completely agree. Right now, it is. I won't say at its all-time high. It's all-time highs. $19.20. I just got some. Is it a top 20? Oh yeah, it's top 16. Or it's 16. So I figured it was already up there. I thought it was like 50 though, but this could, let me rephrase what I said before, this could end up being a top 10. So this could be competing with, the Cardano, Terra, Sol of right now. What's the market cap? Let's see. We're at 11.5 billion in market cap. So if we were going to, let's just say flip Doge, it would be 2xing if it flipped Doge. So if it did flip Doge and it 2x from here, which would be pretty hard because it's already at an all-time high, or not at an all-time high, close to an all-time high, because 1920 is all-time high. We're at 1880 right now, so it looks like 1920 is probably just achieved yesterday, or maybe a couple days ago. But if we were to 2x, you'd be looking at, was it $36? I think. And that could be a long-term price point, but short-term, that's kind of hard. So they're just saying, some of the supports and all that stuff, resistance around 1288, broke down to $7. It was, for a while consolidating between 13 and 16, or you can say trading. I think when they say trading, it's because it really is going up and down a little bit more. Consolidating is a little bit tighter of a squeeze. It's kind of usually within like $1 or so. Sometimes even pennies. But this is effectively saying that it's near still has a lot of potential in going toward the future. So assuming the overall crypto market maintains bullish sentiment, I think Near has a lot of momentum behind it to send the asset flying higher into price discovery in Q1. Oh. This is why I don't verbalize dyslexia, because whenever I verbalize it, it gets worse. So I'm free from this. We're not going to deal with that anymore. I didn't mean to just exit that. Could have just moved on. And here's the Tesla news and Dogecoin news. And this is why I believe Doge has a little bit of strength from yesterday. It's still at 16 cents. Let me just say, if I were still holding on to my meme coins today, I would be at a loss. I sold them in a profit. Don't dime in hand just because the market is saying hold forever. I was screaming at the top of my lungs how much people should let go of their meme coins, and they were still holding on to them, and some still are. If they go up, great, because I know some of them are going to be freaking rich. But for the most part, I don't think meme coins are really going to make a comeback at all. Maybe not. Changing the title again. Yep, meme coins still suck. There we go. All right. So the Tesla news, Dogecoin news of the day. Basically, there were some people looking at the source code for Tesla. So they were actually, I'll scroll down so you can get a visual on that. I mean, that you can kind of see. So in here, this is like the source code. You can see it up here. That's what it looks like as a whole, or at least another segment of it. But they were looking in the source code, and they actually saw crypto payments. They saw the Doge brand, Doge text, actual payment. So crypto continued. So there actually looks like they're going to be building or connecting wallets to Doge, or reactivating wallets that they have for Dogecoin. So they were saying that they were going to be taking payments for merch in Q4, and and that was just like last month or so, because that was within me starting this channel, which was just a month ago or something like that. So they went from saying merch, and a lot of people were saying, "Oh, Tesla's going to be taking Doge for their cars," and I'm like, "No." He said that it was going to be merch, but now they have not only the source code, or in the source code, some stuff that's indicating Doge. Did it show it anywhere else? Okay, maybe it is this one right here. But they're showing that I think it's the three models that they make right now, like the script is actually showing that you can buy the cars. Let's see if I can find that. Okay, I can't find it, but anyway, they were seeing in the source code that you could actually that the cars are going to be linked to be able to be purchased, not just the merch. So that's interesting. So Elon always showing strength for Doge, and it's interesting. He holds a lot of Bitcoin. He holds a whole lot of Bitcoin in Tesla. I'm sure he holds some himself. I mean, not saying I'm sure. I'm speculating he holds some himself. But he always says how he hates Bitcoin, he loves Doge more, and it's because of the Bitcoin maxis. He doesn't like the attitude of Bitcoin maxis, and I'll be completely honest, I'm the same way. I don't know if I've ever thought Bitcoin was the only way. I was just interested in cryptocurrency as a whole once I started learning about it because it was interesting all around. But the maxis out there think that it's Bitcoin and no coin. Funny thing is, a lot of those maxis will tell you that they hold a little bit of other things. So freaking frauds. So, Twitter, crypto wallet integration. Oh, yes. So, by the way, the two websites that I use mostly for the news is cryptosrus.com and Decrypt, just in case you're wondering. For crypto, I do use Cointelegraph, or not Cointelegraph, CoinDesk also, but these are the two that I use mainly. CoinDesk is mostly videos and just like a couple of words. So if somebody pops up there, I'll forget it. But anyway, it's neither here nor there. So Twitter is now talking about being able to connect your like MetaMask wallets to your Twitter account. I know if you, I believe if you use desktop, you can get tipped right now. But this wallet is going to be able to take things more than just Bitcoin. So the whole article on this is not only about the wallets, but it's also about would this have even been able to happen if Jack Dorsey was still CEO of Twitter? And most people are saying probably not, because he is a Bitcoin maxi. Like he doesn't think anything else is going to be good or is good besides Bitcoin. Going from hating cryptocurrency like last year or whatever from speculative. What's the word? Anyway, I'm just saying things. It's my opinion. So if he was still at Twitter, you probably wouldn't have this opportunity to potentially connect your wallets to Twitter. And the reason they're talking about doing this is because you can like display your NFTs through Twitter and like show them off in Twitter and all that stuff. But and that's what this post is right here. So to be honest, this person says, to be honest, not excited for this at all. Don't know how I feel connecting my wallet to these companies that have been harvesting and selling my data for decades. And I agree with this, because now, I agree with this next one too. Isn't all your wallet information already public though? Yes, it is. But our names are not always connected to them. Yes, on one of my wallets, you can see my .eth address, my ENS address. So you could speculate very easily that that's one of my wallets. But at the same time, when we connect our wallets to these other companies, you're allowing people to trace, where it's coming from, where things are going to, what you have, and all that stuff. They're verified transactions, effectively. So, it is public information already, but you usually have to do some digging. When you're connecting your wallet to Twitter, effectively what you're doing is you're taking a bank account and showing everyone in the world what's in your bank account, at least one of them. So if you are very careful, move many times or whatever, and then only display your NFTs on here, sure, why not? But once they have access to that information, they will have more information to harvest and more things to pull from. And now they have it connected to your name too, and they can use that and sell that on other platforms, depending on what it says in the fine print. So would this have been able to be possible with Jack Dorsey there? Probably not, but I don't think it has anything to do with the privacy part of it. I think it's just the fact that they want to open it up to more than Bitcoin, and because Jack Dorsey cares just as much about your security as the Patriot Act. So the next, that was pretty extreme. I don't know if I should have said that. I don't totally agree with that. I was being facetious in ways. However, I don't think the Patriot Act is there just to protect us. I will say that. And moving on. Judge says Ripple can access emails about SEC Ethereum speech. So there was a speech that the SEC gave, I think it was like 2 years ago. Yeah. 2018 about Ethereum. So the SEC was saying that these papers on Ethereum were privileged documents. What that means is that it's private. They're not related to this case at all. They don't have to give access to the other side to use for evidence or whatever to build a case. Well, the judge has ruled a whole lot of things, yes, to be privileged, but this is not one of them. What that means is that XRP now has access to the documents of the SEC's speech about Ethereum and why it was not a security because it is sufficiently decentralized. So if they can extract information out of there that says why XRP could be similar to Ethereum in the decentralized part, then there is a very good chance that this is good for XRP and Ripple. I should say Ripple. to allow XRP to be used freely again. Did I agree with XRP in the beginning because it's tying with banks and it's going to be I don't know if centralized is the word, but trying to tie to the banks and be I guess in the traditional sense, in the traditional side of things. But at the same time, what they're trying to do to bridge banks from other countries and all that other stuff, that's pretty spectacular. So high risk play, don't recommend it unless you have money to just throw away, or unless you're high risk. So this, Thursday there was a large batch of documents. They named a lot of them privileged. I don't remember how many of them were, but it was a whole lot of them. But this one they did not allow, so I'm pretty happy about that. So this means that XRP should be moving in the right direction, hopefully soon. Let's see where XRP is. Mind you, it used to be top 3. It used to be top 3, and it's 8th spot now. So doesn't look like that news has done much of anything to XRP. So that might just be because of the overall sentiment in the market as far as people don't really know what to feel right now. So even though Ripple has allowed information from the SEC that they were talking about how Ethereum is not a security, doesn't look like the crypto traders really care right now. So I think when things start to move in the right direction or in the profitable direction, long, then we'll see a little bit better. So anyway, onto whale stats. Let's see what these look like. They all, and now I already double checked against yesterday, they all look basically the same. Ooh, excuse me. They all look basically the same. Don't freeze on me. Oh man. I hope my computer's not frozen. Let's see. Is it all overall frozen? Oh. Okay. I'll wait. If you can hear me, I'll just ramble, I guess, on this chart. So SHIB is still 14% of the largest holdings for whales. If you don't know what this is basically an overall look at what the biggest wallets have that are on the Ethereum chain, so ERC20 tokens. And it's updated every 24 hours. So whalestats.com is the name of this. Ooh, excuse me. And let me see if I'm just kind of talking to myself now, which I'm basically doing anyway. Am I still alive? Yep, okay. I am still alive, my computer's just frozen, so that's interesting. So, best. I don't know what best is. Let me see if this does. Okay. Yeah, it's still showing us loading. You know what? This is looking like it's working, so let's just work with what works. The only other news I really had, I think, was about T-Mobile. So Brave is this one. Okay. We're going with it. So, the news that I had, all that I had left was about T-Mobile. It was just how they missed their mark as far as their estimates on what they were going to sell in postpaid, just by a little bit. Well, 40,000 or something like that. I think their estimates were like 800,000 or something. Yeah, 50,000. They came in at like 810. And AT&T apparently went over their mark. I don't even know if I could get in trouble or not. But let me just say, those numbers on postpaid, I don't care what company it is, they're all inflated. All of the companies that are selling for cellular companies need to be looked into highly on the efficacies of what they are doing. I'll leave it at that. Why am I covering cellular? You know what? Let me go So American Airlines, I do fly with them. $18. That is about average from what they were since the things have balanced out a little bit post-COVID, I guess you could say. Maybe I can show what I mean. They were. I guess I can't do that left-handed. Nope. Okay, can't do that left-handed. So. Okay, there's the. Yeah. Okay. So they dropped down under $10. I think I'm in at like 11 or something like that, and they went up to like the $20 range-ish, 25. So they're at about the mean of what they were before, $18 range. Now this is still one that I am expecting to go back up to 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. So this is in my long-term purchases. This is in my Roth IRA. I don't plan on moving that one. Same thing with Southwestern Airlines or Southwest Airline. I'm a big fan just because of the guy who started it. God rest his soul, or bless his soul. He did pass last year or a year before that. But same thing. At the beginning of COVID, it broke down. I think I'm in at about $35, $36, and then went up, skyrocketed, and then came back down. Now, all of these plays I could have sold at the top and then waited for them to come back down, but you never know. Hindsight is 20/20. Looking at it now, I can see that I could have done that. I speculated I could have probably done that because I knew that we were going to be in like it's a little bubble type thing, but you never know. So this one I'm expecting to go up back to the 60s also, and now this company is still relatively new, so that's why you see down here is in the 20s and all that for a while. They were also facing a lot of lawsuits back in the day too, which the guy who started it, his name's Herc, the guy who started it was a lawyer, and he fought those suits himself. So that's why these guys are even able to stay afloat, is because he, instead of spending thousands and hundreds of thousands or whatever it was on lawyers, he fought that case himself. All those cases, whatever the cases were, I can't remember, but yeah, he fought them, and they're still in business. Let's see what else we got. Coin. That's looking like it's up, which is pretty interesting because overall crypto is pretty down right now. But today it's showing a little bit more strength. Maybe it's because it just hit a floor. Yeah, I'm saying it's probably because it just hit a floor and people are just buying out that bottom bit because crypto's not doing great. Huh, interesting. There is some movement. There's movement in the crypto trending stocks. Where am I? I'm like highlighting different things. Okay, there we go. So yeah, all the crypto or all the stocks that hold crypto or hold Bitcoin are actually doing pretty okay right now. We're up 2%. MicroStrategy, software company, but has a whole lot of Bitcoin on their books. That's a company that Michael Saylor is CEO of. Has been for a very long time. Marathon Digital Holdings, same thing. They have a lot of crypto on their books. I think mining. The pop space is still breaking down. That's a shame. I want some. Let me see if it'll go even lower. Yeah, let's see if it can hit like the $7 range. I'll probably buy in. Yeah, I'm going to keep my eye on that. Riot, 1% up. They're mining, tracking their crypto mining company. What else we got here? Uranium, showing a little bit more strength, so that's good. So it's picking up since the market opened. That's nice to see. No one wants to see themselves losing money. Let's see if the website's coming back. What do I do? I can never remember how to open the task manager on these freaking things. Where's Control-Alt-Delete when you need it? Anyway, let me open up so I can at least see any comments that are coming through if there are any. Because because I can't see what's going on my computer right now. I'm literally just winging it because I want to make sure that I'm consistent with this. So I hope that this is still valuable. Alright, so I hope this is still valuable because I can't use my websites. But if you do like this channel so far, make sure you give it a like, leave a comment. If you're on mobile, you have to exit out of the video or minus the video or something, hit the like button, and then go back into the video. And if you want to support this channel, there are some links down in the description. BlockFi, I wish I could show them right now. It's really, I'm a little frustrated. Yeah, okay, there we go. It just gave me the notice, browse breaker. Quit unexpectedly, so let's see if we can get it back up. So BlockFi, if you want to gain interest on your crypto and you're planning on holding for the longer term, it is centralized. However, you're able to gain interest on that crypto because they're lending it on the back end. And when I say that, I'm talking like a good amount of crypto. The highest APY there, I think, is about 9.6. The lowest right now is 1. 9.6 being on GUSD. I think it's 1.5 on Uni, if I'm not mistaken. There's other links in the description as well. Crypto.com is a good on-ramp for crypto. I actually have my bank account linked to that, so whenever I do make any money from like a W-2 or a 1099 or anything like that, I actually get paid through the Crypto.com account, and it goes right into my account, or well, right into my Crypto.com, app, and then I can buy crypto straight from there, or I can put it onto my card. It's pretty fantastic. You got Coinbase that's down there. I always leave that in the description because it is one of the most common ones. And then you got Webull, which is what we're on right now for the different stocks, and that's what we're using to track the stocks and all that stuff. So that's how you can help support the channel. You can also follow me. There's a link in the description for Twitter and for BitCloud, or not BitCloud, Diamond. Maybe it's BitCloud. I don't know. DeSo blockchain. Let's see what else is there going on. Workhorse down back at $3.09. This one I saw go up to like 15. Yeah. That's okay. That's okay. Rivian is really down. Okay, so this is a new automotive, or I mean, I don't know how new they are, but they just went public. They had their IPO not too long ago. IPO, I think, was at like $75. And what? Why does it show that order entry down here? Anyway, there you go. IPO, about $100. Yeah. So actually, there's a red candle, which means this is where. So 106 is what it looks like it opened up at. It's at about $80 now. So this is an electronic vehicle company. They're right up there with like Neo, Lucid, trying to be the Teslas of whatever, I guess. So that's low. I don't know what else to say about that. I gotta figure out why that's so low. Let's see. Use Dow Jones sells off. Citigroup. Oh, okay. Gen Z investors shift focus from meme stocks to the metaverse report show. So maybe Rivian's considered a meme stock. Ford just hit 100 million market cap, and electric van maker for Amazon raises funds. None of this is really telling me the checkpoint Tesla will raise price of self-driving feature. Rivian stock may have bottomed out, but it's still not a bargain. Interesting. The electric truck maker went public in November. $78. Okay, there you go. $78 a share. Went right up to 106 is what that's saying in that chart. Or at least on Webull's account. This is after the stock went to 178. It's at 88. let's see. Analysts are waiting to see the operations progress during the quarter. After all, Rivian still has a market capitalization of $73.8 billion. Put this in the same league as General Motors, which now has a market value of $89.2 billion. This is only slightly higher than where things stand with Rivian. Okay, there's a lot of shares. Let's proceed. Care about that. 7 best blue chip stocks. Okay, so they're not really saying much. Anywho, nowhere near Tesla's market cap. Revenue for the quarter was non-existent, as the company did not receive its initial IPO cash until mid-November. Rivian raised $19.9 billion in cash in the IPO. Okay, so it sounds like it's just still really new. All right, I'll read more about that and report back. But for now, we got to figure out how to stop this string. And yeah, leave a comment, leave a like. See y'all later. Make sure you subscribe. Tell your friends. Tell your parents. Tell your kids. Tell your brothers and sisters. Anyway, just